What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. Before we get started, if you leave me a like, comment and a subscribe, that'd be fantastic. So yeah, thank you also to the new subscribers that come in on the weekend. Video did very well, so thanks for the support. Welcome to the channel, and hopefully I can keep bringing very good content for you, and you can enjoy my videos. So today's video is going to be the Leeds versus Watford review. A little bit late on it. I did want to bring it out yesterday, but had some commitments and things to do, so I didn't get a chance to do it. But yeah, give me a bit of a different video. I'm going to start doing player ratings and things like that, and try to integrate it into one video to make these maybe a little bit longer, and have something to talk about. But 3 points on the board, first win of the season, first home win of the season, and what a relief that is. I predicted 2-0, it was 1-0, but it should have been 2 or 3, really. Rodrigo had so many efforts, one poor touch in the first half, shots left, right and centre, Tyler Roberts hitting the bar. Just, it could have quite easily been 3 or 4-0. It should have been 2-0 at half time, realistically. So, look, 3 points is still 3 points. I'm not gonna make this too much of a video where I'm sort of unhappy about certain things, but we looked like we looked against West Ham. I was worried a little bit that we weren't going to come into this game and be the same sort of team. I was a little bit worried that we were going to not roll on from West Ham. But the fact we did, and we shut down Watford, who we should be shutting down, it shows that I don't think we're going to be in that relegation battle. I think we're going to be pretty safe now. I'm hoping. We'll see what happens with Southampton after they got beat by Man City. Hopefully we're flying high and they're on a bit of a lull. That'd be fantastic. So, yeah, I think we'll start off with player ratings. We'll start with Meslier in goals. He was fantastic. His distribution was okay. I think he hit most of his targets. There was nothing really. I can't think of anything except for the goal, the disallowed goal, where he sort of palmed it in on the floor in the back of the net, which I think was to do with the fact he'd just been injured. So I'm not going to get on him too much about that. But I thought it was fantastic today. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I don't think it wasn't a man of match performance, but I think he was very solid. So I think a 7 is pretty fair. I think it's 7.5. But except for that, nothing to write home about. Right back, Shackleton. He was actually he was probably my man of the match. I thought he was fantastic. Not many people speaking about his performance. He really linked up very well with Rafinha, and then Dan James swapped to that side, and he linked up with him very well. I thought he worked back fantastically. I think he had showed a lot of energy, getting up and down the line. He attacked. He was attacking as well. Always present. That he was he was defending really well. On to the centre-backs. I thought they were fantastic today. I thought, I've been a bit critical of Cooper at times, and I'm hoping maybe he's turned a corner. I know what he can do. I know he's due. He's probably due for one of these games. He can have these sort of games, and I like Liam Cooper, but I just, as a Premier League sort of defender, I'm still unsure of him. When we got Stroik and things there, but we'll start with him. He was fantastic today. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. I thought he commanded the air. He dealt with things. There was no blunders. There was no times when I had to close my eyes and hope that he was going to whatever he was doing was going to pay off. But he didn't step a foot wrong today. So he was fantastic. And Llorente, I'm going to give Llorente a 7. I was thinking about giving him an 8, but I'm going to give him a 7 because he commanded the ball really well. He played the ball forward really well. He looks very tidy on the ball at times, but it's just a couple of times he got caught on the ball and could have caused some serious errors coming out the back on that right hand side, especially the second half. But I'll make him a 7.5 because he was fantastic. But I thought he was the more likely out of the two to make an error. But that's probably because he's more on the ball more than Cooper. Maybe, I don't know. Over to the left back, Junior Firpo. Now, I've not been massively critical of Junior Firpo because he's the only left back we have. He's better than Alioski. I don't want to hear that he's not better than Alioski. It's always everyone thinks about the past and how good Alioski had these great games. It was few and far between. There was not many games he was fantastic for us. He had a couple of there was a couple of good games, but I don't remember Alioski being really brilliant for games on end. I think Firpo is solid. I think he's been solid all year, but because you're not seeing him bomb forward and crossing the ball and scoring goals or anything like that, everyone's been a bit critical of him. I think he does well defensively, and that's what we need him to do right now when we're losing games. He's there defensively. He pocketed Ismail Sarr, who was on form. He got an inform card on FIFA, so he's got to be on form. He pocketed Sarr, made it look easy. Sarr was quiet all game. Firpo had a couple of shaky moments going forward. I don't think he passed the ball around particularly well. His touch wasn't fantastic, but he did try to get forward more, and he pocketed Sarr, which is all we need him to do. That was all we needed from Junior Firpo. So, look, very good game. I'm going to go ahead and give him a 7. Like I said, a few things going forward was poor, but except for that, he had a fantastic game. So, on to Calvin Phillips. Phillips played consistent. I think his first half was a bit slow, and his second half he got better. But he's Mr. Consistent. You know, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 because he played the ball around well. He kept the ball moving. He was very, very good in the second half. But that is what Phillips does. An 8 or 9 out of 10 every single game. That's how good he is. Click and Dallas. Now, these guys, they had an okay game. Click was a bit poorer for me than Dallas because I think they both weren't fantastic. I think they were okay. I'll give them like a 6.5, like both of them a 6.5. They work back defensively quite well. They work the best as a pairing, but both of them were just taking pot shots, especially Stuart Dallas was taking pot shots, and it wasn't really just poor effort. So it was just a bit of a waste. And it was shown throughout the game how many times we do one or two things, and it was a lot of wasted chances based on either getting the ball and overplaying it and fluffing around on it, which I know we want to do that. We want to pass the ball in the back of the net, but overplaying it so many times, we just one pass too many. Firpo, which is a confidence thing, Firpo had played it one pass too many to Dan James. Dallas, or we so either overplay it, or we get the ball and just hit it, and it's got to be that fine line where sometimes it's just hitting it when you try to play the ball around. The next time you get it, don't just hit it, just one pass less. It feels like always we go one pass too many, or we try to take on one too many defenders, or we try and whatever it might be. But in the end, yes, look, 6.5. It's a solid game. I think they were slightly better than average. They weren't poor. So I don't want to give them a 5 or a 6, but so 6.5 because they weren't a 7. They weren't on Llorente's level or anything like that. So then we go on to, we'll do Rodrigo first. I thought it was a better game from Rodrigo. I think he played well. That's his spot. He played as a striker for Spain and for Valencia, so that's definitely his spot. But the problem is, I found he was a bit isolated at times, and we were picking him out, but he was trying to overplay it a little bit. Should have had a goal with that heavy touch on his right. But look, I'd say a 6.5 for him as well. I don't think he was... he did all right. He ran out of steam, which is why I'm only going to give him a 6.5 because he didn't chase all game like Bamford does. So 6.5, didn't get on the score sheet. Actually, Llorente, I'll give Llorente an 8 because he scored. I just forgot that he scored the goal. So I'll give him an 8. Give him an 8 because he scored a goal. I thought the whole back line was fantastic, by the way. And first clean sheet, which is a mega positive. And we'll get on to the wings. So I'll start with Rafinha first because he was actually, I thought, the poorer of the two wingers. Look, he shows bits of quality. He gets around the park. He's dangerous, super dangerous. Danny Rose was up his backside to start the game with, and he was getting rolled left, right, and centre, and just Rafinha made it look easy. So Danny Rose decides to step a yard back. So what does Rafinha do? Come inbound and start spraying balls into Rodrigo. Absolutely had Rose's measure. Rose was looking super overweight. He looks super unfit. Still a quality defender. Not quality, but you know what I mean. Like for a bottom to mid-table Premier League side, can still do it at that level. I think he's got a bit of weight to lose, but Rafinha had a decent game. I'd give him a 7. Wasn't his usual performance. Probably didn't get so many efforts on goal. So yeah, probably about 7. I think he's not really didn't really have the best game out of the two wingers. But who did? Dan James. Dan James was fantastic. He's getting an 8 out of 10 for me. Shackleton, I actually gave Shackleton a 9 because I thought he was best on. I actually really thought he was man of the match. But I think Dan James was a very, very close second. So I'll give him an 8.5 actually. God, he's quick. He's so quick. Super quick. He's trying to take players on, which I really, really love. Usually he sort of takes them on and then goes back. But he's taking players on, had an effort or two. Nothing crazy, but super dangerous. He was first to every single ball. The whole team was first to every single ball. Every 50-50, the whole team was there. But Dan James was just getting there, even ahead of Ismail Assar. Got Ismail Assar booked because he gets there first. And he was just winning fouls in the right places, slowing the game down, not allowing us to set up to not get counter-attacked. That's the difference. You don't win that 50-50. They get the ball and they start countering, and our defense it can be out of shape, and that's when we get hit hard. Dan James winning those free kicks was just allowing us to set up and just calm down and keep the attack, keep the pressure, keep building. I thought he was brilliant. Is there a way into the team for Jack Harrison at the moment? Because I think Dan James has been fantastic, and I think that Jack Harrison didn't have a great start to the season. Obviously, they got COVID, but he's going to be unfit. I think that Jack Harrison, he can have a couple of games where his final product isn't great. I know Dan James is known for his final product not being great, but there was one ball that he put in that he fizzed right in between the goalkeeper and the back line. And it's those sort of balls that we don't see Leeds doing very often, where we slide it in between the goalkeeper and the centre-backs to a guy arriving back post, which was Rodrigo in that instance, and they had to clear it wide. And it's one thing that I've always wondered with Leeds, because we don't try to whip the ball in, we always try to sort of whip it with pace to the penalty spot, but really fizzing it low and hard across the face of the keeper in those awkward positions where someone has to make a move for it. The centre-back at the front has to get a foot on it, which can cause errors. We've seen how many times own goals happen from that. Goalkeepers have to get to it and they can spill it. You know, it's a dangerous ball in, and Dan James finds it perfectly, and it actually worked out for the defence in the situation because they got rid of it. But yeah, he was brilliant. It's so quick. Whenever he gets on the ball, I just think something's going to happen. So yeah, he was fantastic. And overall, it was a great team performance. 1-0, but should have been 2 or 3. In the end, 3 points is all that matters. We're out of that relegation zone. We beat Watford, which we know we're better than Watford, and we showed it. That was dominance from minute 0 to minute 90. That was pure dominance. Watford, except for the little handling error by Melier, did not even look like they were going to score a goal. Didn't look like they wanted to. And the only thing I will touch on, and I spoke to this with my dad a little bit, was teams last year struggled to figure us out because we were new into the league. Anyone that hadn't played us before couldn't figure us out. I'm a little bit worried. We've played all the teams we've played this year, we've played before the Premier League. Is it a coincidence that the first team we come up against that hasn't played us before, especially Watford, because we haven't played Watford in years, because we went up when they come down, obviously. Is it a coincidence that they struggled because they haven't played us before? We'll see what Brentford are like. Brentford have played us before. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, Brentford are playing really well, so I don't know what we get out of that. And Norwich, I think Norwich are just poor. I think we'll beat Norwich anyway, but they've played us before. Are they going to be able to sort of work out what we're doing? I'm not too sure at this stage. So I'm hoping we'll see what happens with Southampton. It could just be a bit of a, you know, my mind making up some sort of narrative as to why we're going to struggle in some way, or it could just be we're going to win next week and that's it, and just carry on and get a bit of a roll going. We had a poor start. It's time to have a good run now. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's just a narrative. Hopefully, it's just me making something up in my head. But it does seem a bit sus that the one team we play against that's not played against us in a while, or under Bielsa, really struggled. They really struggled with the pace of it. They were getting tired by like this. By half time, they looked gassed. By 60th minute, we were just getting the ball, and we ran out of steam as well. But they just looked like they just wanted to sit back and just leave it as 1-0 and just hope they get through as 1-0. Ben Foster came out and said that it was Leeds' dominance from start to finish. So, look, in the end, finally got our first win. So buzzing. I'm super tired because I didn't go to bed till 3 in the morning after that. And I'm getting old now. I don't recover very well from watching the games early in the morning. But you know, it was well worth it. So if you like the video, drop me a like and a subscribe. Again, thank you for the new subscribers. I hope you enjoy the content, and drop a comment below. With the international break, it's a bit difficult. As this is a new channel, I'm still trying to work out video ideas. So I'll have my my Premier League review out Wednesday, hopefully. And this weekend, I'm thinking of doing maybe an updated transfer news and have a look at some of the players that have been thrown around from the whole entire league. And that'll be out on Saturday, hopefully. And then Tuesday next week will be the Premier League predictions again. So I'm going to split that video up. It will be Premier League review this week, Premier League predictions next week, and I'll be a bit more in depth. And then on the Friday, I'll bring out the Southampton versus Leeds previews. So hopefully that's sort of what I'm hoping to do. I said I wanted to bring out 3 videos a week. You know, hopefully 3, if not 2, but they'll be spaced out evenly. So that's the plan for the new subscribers that don't know. If you stick with me, we'll build a nice little community here. So yeah, 3 points in the bag. Thank you and peace.